Can this trade keep rocking higher in the new year? Courtney, are you going to be a hater or are you going to be a lover of the story in 25?
You know, I kind of approach this with a little bit of caution. So Dan Ives increased his price target here, and he noted some things like this being the golden era of growth with artificial intelligence, and he pointed out some of the features they have, like AI emojis and ChatGPT on Siri. And I just don't know if I can really buy into this yet, that is going to be the super cycle upgrade of the iPhone that everybody is expecting, because this went from people assuming this cycle that was going to happen with this new iPhone to now, oh, this is going to be a multi-year problem. So, you know, I just don't know if this is a catalyst to get into this stock right now, especially after it's done so well. So it just had 5 weeks in a row where it's up 2% or more. And after that happens, that tends to be a bad thing in the short term for Apple. Mm-hmm. And after such optimism, now that it's getting close to that $4 trillion, I think it's just having this really high bar. So I think long term, it's absolutely going to benefit from artificial intelligence. I think short term, a lot of that's probably priced in. So I would stay on the sidelines here myself.
Even if AI is a longer term story to play out, Bonawyn, you have the normal super cycle of people with really old phones needing to upgrade their phones, driving the immediate, you know, the near term at this point. So what do you think of the prospects and where it's valued in relationship to that?
So that's the real question. I think it's fully valued. So
just the plain old
correct
upgrade cycle.
Certainly, mm-hmm. Right? And so I think kind of identifying that or calling that to issue doesn't necessarily make you a hater. I am behind the fact that you essentially have a $2 trillion valuation based off of a services business that is recurring revenue, which is what you want to see. I'm with the fact that this company pretty much generates 1 times whatever its debt load per year. There are a lot of fundamental reasons to like this, to like it. Mm-hmm. But when we're talking about a relatively short or medium-term trade, do I want to put the incremental dollar towards Apple? To Courtney's point, I am a believer of the AI story in general. But I think that there are so many other alternatives in terms of ways to leverage AI that all these other companies have made available. And AI, like AI emojis or integrating ChatGPT, like you can already get access to ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google and all these other AI features that I just don't know if having it at the proverbial fingertips is what's going to induce me to spend the additional money on another iPhone. Now, the install base having to upgrade, I understand, but I don't think that's an AI-specific phenomenon. That is already built into, and the valuation reflects that is just the way of the fundamental story behind Apple.
Mm-hmm. Julie, where are you on Apple?
Well, you know, as the official slow-moving sloth of the Fast Money desk, for me, I've owned this name for 12 years. And for 12 years, I have had to tell myself not to sell this thing, right? There's been so many times where the valuation gets well out ahead of its, you know, fundamentals. And you see that in the periods over the long term. The problem with this is always the same, which is the idea that you're going to be able to get out and time it just right so that when you have one of these downdrafts, you're going to get back in. I think for long-term guys, it makes sense. The thing about AI with Apple that I really like when it comes to AI is I think of all the brands in technology, this one has the most trust. And I think when AI starts to get very useful is when we will actually need to have the most level of trust to feel confident that it's not going to mess with us, have incorrect data, or be problematic for our privacy. And I think this is the best positioned consumer company to do that.